This is Part 2 Episode 138. The place of the accident was rather close to the Myriad Beast Mountain Pass, but after passing on the information he had been sent back with, this assassin finally dropped dead. How could Chen Yinga stand worryless after getting this piece of news? She immediately showed extreme panic. Originally, Chen Hongyu and Sanshui Popo didn't plan on informing Chen Yinga, but she coincidentally found out. Having listened to Chen Yinga's story, Long Haochen's expression suddenly became extremely unsightly. First, without mentioning the relationship of fellow soldiers between demon hunt squads, Yang Wenjiao and Duan Yu were rare talents to the Night Temple. They were talented knights who could possibly become divine knights in the future. Since they were captured, Long Haochen had to rescue them no matter from which point of view he thought of the matter. Even if their current strength was far from sufficient to guarantee their success, they had at least to give it a try. Yang Haohan's good care of Long Haochen was engraved in his memories. Without the support from this head of the Night Temple, maybe he would have been sent to the Demon God Emperor before the Holy Wars start. Breathing deeply, Long Haochen gave a look to Chen Hongyu, seriously declaring, "Senior, I accept your previous proposal. I am willing to challenge you alongside my comrades. But I hope for your conditions to be loosened. In front of our group of juniors, could you at least not use your equipment?" Chen Hongyu didn't think that Long Haochen would still accept this evident bullying test. For a moment, he didn't show any response, but couldn't help but feel some appreciation for this Long Haochen. The fact this youngster decided to lead his team to challenge him meant that his decision of going to save Duan Yi and Yang Wenjiao was already made. If his granddaughter wasn't part of this, Chen Hongyu wouldn't have tried a powerful demon hunt squad that way. But when it involves his granddaughter, how could he let Chen Yinga take such danger? But there's no way he could take back the words he just declared. As a temple head, there's no way to go back on one's word. All right. I won't use any equipment when facing your challenge. I will let you pick the time, and the location will be my spiritual temple's fighting beasts ground. Long Haochen nodded slightly. Temple head, we have not seen Yinga for a long time. Please let us gather with her in the meantime. It will facilitate our battle tactics arrangements. Okay. Though, in case your group wants to leave this Myriad Beast Mountain Pass, be aware that you will become forever unwelcome in our spiritual temple. Also, we will halt you in your tracks by sending the temple's forces. Long Haochen responded, "Be at ease, this kind of situation will absolutely not happen." Afterwards, he performed a standard knight salute to Chen Hongyu, before putting his mask back on, leaving alongside Chen Yinga. "Boss, As soon as they got out, Chen Yinga once again pulled on Long Haochen's arms. As all sorts of feelings welled up in her heart, she couldn't help but burst out in tears once again. Long Haochen stroked her head. "Fool, what are you crying for? Don't tell me you think the missions we have faced before were easier. Even without you, I would definitely go save Yang Wenjiao and Duan Yi at all costs, after learning that they have been caught by the enemy. Calm down for now, we will be facing your grandfather's test after a time of rest and reorganization. You are the most familiar with Head Chen, so please give explanations to everyone." Yep. Chen Yinga nodded repeatedly. For some reason, after Long Haochen arrived, the anxiety and uneasiness she had lowered greatly. That was a habit from the time they frequently acted together. It seemed to her that as long as their captain is there, all troubles will disappear. That feeling of safety gradually formed after long times of cooperation, and was already deep-rooted inside Chen Yinga. Long Haochen brought her to the resting grounds arranged by the spiritual temple, to reunite with the others. Naturally, a show of affection followed, especially between Chen Yinga and Wang Yuanyuan, who were originally good friends, good sisters. Seeing each other once again, they shrieked in excitement, causing excitement from everyone else. The joy of their reunion diluted rapidly. After coming back to tranquility, Chen Yinga talked about the previous matters. After hearing her, everyone gathered their looks in agreement at Long Haochen, waiting for his decision. Long Haochen declared, "We must face the temple head Chen in this, otherwise he won't permit us to bring Yinga along. Han Yu, please make a trip to the southern mountain pass on Star King's back, and bring Sima back. We'll have to gather all our forces to possibly win this battle. Han Yu replied, yes, I am immediately going. Long Houchen brought him outside, where he called out Star King. After a few words of explanation from him, Han Yu rode Star King and departed immediately for the south. The distance from the Myriad Beast Mountain Pass to the southern mountain pass wasn't far. Sima Xian having originally been part of the team's main force so far, his cultivation was bound to have grown tremendously. With his addition, Long Houchen's group had just gathered, reaching its peak state. Having been cooperating together as a group of 7 so far, they were bound to have a great loss of strength without Sima. And the same went for their morale. Originally, the fastest should be Kia, but after her loss of memories, Long Houchen really wasn't at ease letting her go look for Sima Xian. Han Yu being steady, and with the full flight speed of Star King satisfying, having him go was naturally the most fitting. On the way back, Star King would carry the two at the same time, and since all were light users, they could use their spiritual energy as supply to enable Star King to accelerate. After Han Yu left, Long Houchen returned to the room, and directly asked Chen Yinga, Yinga, tell us about your current abilities, and what your grandfather can do in battle. Know yourself and know your enemy to then emerge victorious in 100 battles out of 100. Chen Yinga looked at Long Houchen with some worries, boss, do we really stand a chance? Grandfather is really too powerful, I'm afraid that. Long Houchen showed a laugh, have some more self-confidence. We are currently in no way weak. And it's only by confronting powerhouses of higher level that we can have possibilities of progressing. Although the gap separating us currently from Temple Head Chen is very large, I believe that as long as we put forth everything we have and show sufficient strength, he shouldn't make things difficult for us by preventing us from leaving. Chen Ying's eyes lit up, you're right. Grandfather is after all an elder. If we can resist his attacks for some time, maybe he will be at ease. Nearby, Lin Xin showed a mischievous laughter, Yinga, forget about the rest. After the test your grandfather gives us starts, you must convince him to not use his domain against us. As long as it doesn't come out, we definitely have a chance. Let me tell you that boss managed to kill the 49th ranked demon god of clear vision. And a short time ago, we also managed to resist in front of an undead powerhouse, whose spiritual energy definitely exceeded 200,000, relying on the conjoined spiritual boost, helping Hao Yue achieve his evolution. In a situation where your grandfather doesn't use any equipment, he may not necessarily manage to defeat us. Chen Yinga asked in a start, boss, is this title of Saint Knighthead for real? Wang Yuan giggled as she replied, of course it's for real. Do you think Captain could be just talk? He has been formally appointed as provisional Saint Knighthead by the Knight Temple. I estimate that our boss will become a divine knight in just a few years. Long Houchen showed a bitter smile, don't be too hopeful. Temple Head Chen has plentiful battle experiences, and will be even more powerful than all the enemies we have faced before. At the time we face demons, we can at least restrain their darkness element to some extent thanks to my light attribute, and in Hao Yue's world, his aura managed to suppress them to some degree as well. But against Temple Head Chen, we won't have any advantages of such kind at all. Who said we won't? I'll be there. Chen Yinga suddenly hopped, quite proud of herself, you? Don't tell me this summoner, who used to be unable to summon at all could have become reliable. Lin Xin asked in a shock. Chen Yinga unhappily replied, don't be complacent, has drugs bro, come to fight a duel if you have the confidence. This lady will surely show you no chance at all, do you still have some confidence? Speaking such words, she showed her fist to Lin Xin. With her small arm, this didn't have any persuasive force, causing everyone else to burst out in laughter. The only one who wasn't laughing was Long Houchen. With a nod, he responded, all right. Yinga, if you can, go find a training field to duel Lin Xin. Is that for real? Boss, that's no good. What if I turn McDull into roasted pig barbecue? Yinga will have a real grudge. Lin Xin laughed mischievously. Long Houchen shot him a glare, don't be too complacent. After 2 years passed, your cultivation grew, so how could Yinga not have made some progress as well? So can you find a fitting training ground, Yinga? Chen Yinga showed in her gleaming eyes, a quite malicious look shooting at Lin Shin, with a nod, of course I can find it. Has drugs bro, in a bit this lady will show you what's a terrible bully. Lin Shin curled on the sofa, and made a shaking motion. In a cheap thrilled voice, he declared, how scary. I'm so afraid. Unreliable beauty Yinger, I forgot to tell you that the great me has already learnt the use of offensive magic. That's not just fire curse anymore. Chen Yinger stared blankly, you learnt the use of offensive magic. How about your original vow? Lin Shin got up from the sofa in a jump. That's a matter of the past, and matters of the present came into play. Let's go, let's go. Show me what progress you made in the past 2 years. The little pig McDull shall now be a magical beast of the 8th rank, right? Maybe the 9th rank. That's no issue, he's still no opponent in front of your brother. Chen Yinger twitched her mouth, facts speak louder than words. Today, if this lady doesn't beat you up as the pig you are, I'll take your surname. Lin Shin grinned, then how about that guy Yang Wenjiao? How grieved will he be to learn that his wife has taken another surname when we have rescued him? You? Chen Yinger lost her words in rage. But she felt that this was the best time she spent for the last 2 years. Finally being together with her comrades felt the best. With Chen Yinger's status in the spiritual temple, finding a training ground couldn't be an easier matter. She led everyone directly to a wide training field in the back of the spiritual temple, expropriating it after saying a few words to the manager in charge. Under the watch of Long Houchen's group, Chen Yinger and Lin Shin entered the training grounds. After 2 years passed, Chen Yinger's McDull had some visible changes. His body that was a bit longer than 1/3 of a meter didn't grow, instead shrinking by roughly 1/3. But he gave off a very peculiar feeling. His skin became close to gelatin, appearing extremely sparkling and translucent. In particular, his pair of eyes were like resplendent gems, while his body didn't release any powerful aura, but standing at Yinger's side, he seemed like an extension of her body, their auras giving off a feeling of matching perfectly. As Lin Shin was about to head to the other side of the ground, he said, Yinger, how about your brother gives you 10 minutes to prepare a chant? I'd really hate to turn McDull into barbecue. Saying this, he rubbed McDull's chubby waist and pinched his butt. McDull shouted out in anger, immediately leaping up to Chen Yinger's waist. Don't be angry. In a bit, we will teach him a good lesson, and that will be it. Chen Yinger was extremely calm, and didn't show any surge of rage from Lin Shin's shameless act. That look she gave him was really a strange sight, just like a queen about to lash a slave on a pillar. Very rapidly, the two increased the distance separating them. Long Houchen, who was standing on the distant watching area, shouted loudly, be very careful. Don't aim to wound the enemy for real. Start. As soon as Long Houchen's starting call came, the aura of the distant Lin Shin immediately had an earth-shattering change. With a bang, an intense blue flame ascended around his body, and his originally extremely ridiculing smiling expression became extremely cold. In the battles against demons, the countless slaughters made him accumulate a powerful killing intent. As long as he enters his battle state, he will seem like a totally all-different person. Lifting up the fire cloud crystal high, he didn't show the slightest intention of starting off leniently. Raising his staff, he launched 6 blue fireballs in Chen Yinger's direction. Generally speaking, a summoner of same rank would very hardly be a mage's opponent. That's because the summoning spells of mags require a lot more time than the mag's offensive spells. That's why Lin Shin spoke about giving Chen Yinger some time to prepare her magic. Lin Shin's self-confidence had its roots. His heart of fire was originally far more powerful than an ordinary fire mage's fire, and there's also his great magic control and instant casting ability. Those 6 connected fireballs immediately spread in the air, encircling Chen Yinger, while leaving gaudy trails of flames on their way. The gigantic bear roared to the sky, and an icy blue halation was abruptly released from its body, spreading outwards and protecting the bear and Chen Yinger inside. In a movement of wrist, that crystal ball she often used to use appeared in her hand, and her incantating voice was heard. In a series of explosions, the 6 blue fireballs blew apart on the icy barrier. A large amount of gaps immediately appeared on it, but with another roar of the ice bear, its structure became reinforced. Want to stop my attacks like that? How naive. Lin Xin snorted, and also incantated his spell. His previous attack was just a probing, to see how Chen Yinga would cope with it. However, he became curious to see that McDull hadn't consumed any magic crystals in this transformation, yet underwent it directly. It seemed as though some ability was bestowed to him by Yinga, and what's more, the calm and composed looks on Chen Yinga faintly gave Lin Xin some pressing feelings. Right at this time, a succession of sliding gates of light appeared in full swing on Chen Yinga's back. Every gate reached a height of 5 meters, and a width of 3 meters. The gorgeous gates glinted with bizarre brilliance, making a total of 6 which traced a curve on Chen Yinga's back. Her body slowly floated high from the ground, and her sacred divine dress embedded with 108 spiritual pellets dispersed a thin milky white halation, giving the originally beautiful Chen Yinga the look of a fairy. Her powerful fluctuations of spiritual energy abruptly blossomed around, and engulfed the training field with terrible might. So she's really got some backbone. Lin Xin showed some astonishment, but his incantation didn't slow down in the slightest, and completed the next instant. His fire crystal staff pointed forward, and shot out imposing blue flames, once again heading toward Chen Yinga. A stupefying scene followed, as the flames gradually formed the shape of a large blue hand in the sky. Compared to the previous fireball, this large hand of fire wasn't lit especially strongly. The flames didn't even keep rising after forming the hand. But being deep blue-colored, it flew toward the ice bear's barrier, folding to form a fist, which struck it straight. With a large bang, the ice barrier was smashed to pieces, dispersing into countless fragments of ice. Flaming hand spread once again, this time aiming at grabbing McDull transformed as an ice bear. Letting out another large howl, the latter abruptly pounced forward. A powerful blast of icy spiritual energy came to strike that hand like a violent storm. At this time, Lin Xin's great magic control came clearly to view. That flaming hand was only seen swaying in mid-air, before the middle finger was extended, stabbing at McDull through the lower part of his ice storm. Looking at the stage, Wang Yuan unhappily remarked, "How vulgar from his drugs bro. Even McDull is being bullied." Long Houchen heaved a smiled, "Don't decide on who's being bullied too fast. Yinga's beautiful dress is not just for decoration. There's no way the only divine tool of the spiritual temple could be so easy to deal with." McDull showed the results of his training in the Tower of Eternity. In front of the large flaming hand coming from below, he made a sudden flip before his figure grew sharply in size, unexpectedly accomplishing a second transformation. This time, McDull again transformed into an ice elemental creature, a terrible ice dragon, whose thick tail fiercely swept at the flaming hand. An ice dragon is an extremely rare kind of dragon, reaching the 8th rank as a magical beast, while their most powerful ice dragon king even reached the 9th rank. But as they are in the end not real gigantic dragons, they would forever have no way to step into the 10th rank. McDull's ice dragon transformation reached a size of over 10 meters, his immense tail shaped like a cone. That sweep was full of power, clearly proving his close distance to a magical beast of the 9th rank. Lin Xin's previous judgment wasn't wrong. McDull now reached the standard of a magical beast of the 9th rank. The flaming hand having been blocked once again, Lin Xin's attacks finally entered in full swing. Chen Yinga's summoning magic was already making him sense an enormous threat, giving him the final feeling that he ought to stop her from completing this summons no matter what. For this reason, after this flaming hand, series of bursting fireballs followed, just like they did in the battlefield, aiming straight in McDull's direction. McDull was really powerful as well. Even though Lin Xin had excellent magic control, he showed a very tough resistance. Even with the huge body of an ice dragon, he showed great agility in his body control. Ice suppresses fire. Even if Lin Xin's heart of fire is extremely powerful, it's still suppressed in front of ice. Furthermore, McDull's supply of spiritual energy seemed unlimited, not only reinforcing his body, but also launching some ice spells to get in the way of Lin Xin's attacks. Seeing the great resistance McDull showed against his attacks, Lin Xin's look became more and more amazed. The resistance he showed was great, and despite Lin Xin's good control over his own magic, no attack could pass through to McDull. Even in an attempt to control the fireballs to make a detour far, He found out with great surprise that these gates of light extinguished the rest of these fireballs, as if it was only natural. Aren't these creature summoning gates? Lin Shin's heart made abrupt palpitating beats. Creature summoning gate is a summoning magic of the 7th step, but he had never heard of a summoner able to wield 6 of these at the same time. Although Lin Shin was teasing Chen Yinga, he remained very astute. Chen Yinga, having broken through the 7th step, meant that she was now able to control the power of her creature summoning gate. Not good. Lin Shin showed some hesitation, not because he believed he would lose. It's just that at this point, besides launching some powerful magic, he could hardly interrupt Chen Yinga's magic. But who knew if the launch of such powerful magic would wound her? Don't be mistaken, because of the fierce quarrels the two of them showed. How could he be willing to wound his own teammate for the sake of victory? As Lin Shin showed these hesitations, Chen Yinga's incantations finally completed on the other side. The instant her last verse stopped, an exotic milky white color sprinkled down from her body. Chen Yinga shut her eyes, and slowly lifted up her crystal ball over her head. The 6 gates showed great brilliance simultaneously, each of them having different looks. Red, blue, yellow, green, gold, black. It was actually the 6 elemental colors. Immediately, series of roars were heard inside those gates. Her summoned magical beasts were starting to appear. The instant the magic was completed, the watching group and Lin Shin all realized immediately that this wasn't creature summoning gate. Creature summoning gate belongs to the nature element. Even if one could control this magic, as well as the grade of the summoned beasts, there's no way to control the number and elements of these beasts. Everything depends on the user's cultivation. But Chen Yinga's 6 gates summoned magical beasts of set elements, which means that it couldn't be creature summoning gates, but a similar kind of magic. 1 magic beast came out from each gate. But after they all came out, Lin Shin let out a gasp in surprise, almost immediately shouting the words, "I concede." Part 2 end here.